Hey, come here. No warm up today. While everybody's watching Trump shake hands overseas and tell Netanyahu that he's crazy, 11.8 million people are about to lose their health insurance quietly, on purpose, after the midterms.
The bill that did it was signed on the 4th of July of last year.
Happy birthday, America.
So Monday, Trump hops on Truth Social and says, and I'm paraphrasing, I personally saved the ceasefire, called Netanyahu, called Hezbollah, through some very important people, and
Highly placed representatives. Highly placed representatives. That's their quote. Highly placed representatives.
which means nobody's confirming who actually called, but here's what actually happened this weekend. Israel struck near a hospital in southern Lebanon. People died. Iran, who backs Hezbollah, immediately suspended ceasefire and talks, threatened to shut down the Strait of Hormuz.
And now, if you just zoned out, please come back. Like all of you, come back here. All the way back. I know we're talking politics, but just hear us out for a little bit. A quarter of the world's oil moves through that strait, and one threat from him, one threat from Iran, jumped the percentage 8% of a barrel of oil. That's $94 a barrel now, guys. That happened this Monday morning. So that's your gas pump, that's your grocery bill, that's very, very real for real people.
And Trump already has been draining the emergency oil reserve.
Facts.
80 million barrels already out, part of a 172 million barrel drawdown, just trying to keep prices from going crazy before any of this happened.
Yeah. And his only ally in Netanyahu just blew it up completely. Israel struck near a hospital in Lebanon, and he torched the entire thing. So the guy he's defending every single day in public just handed him an entire crisis again.
Yeah. But Trump makes a big announcement. Ceasefire's back on, everybody. We did it. And guess what happens next?
And then Yahoo gets on camera and goes, "We're continuing strikes in southern Lebanon as planned."
His own defense minister denied there was even a ceasefire.
Exactly. Bro, it's crazy right now. Israel struck near a hospital, blew up the entire ceasefire, denied it publicly, and agreed to everything in private. And Trump posted a W like he did it. And look, like, and just to act like he, personally stopped the war or something like that.
Both of them walked away happy though, bro.
Yeah.
Netanyahu, he keeps striking. That's what he likes to do. Trump, he gets the headline. That's what he likes to get. There's not a single ounce of diplomacy, bro. It's just two people helping each other.
And nobody's grandmother is in that deal anywhere.
Not one grandmother's health insurance was consulted.
Not one.
Okay, so now in that same week, buried under all of this, the one beautiful bill signed July 4th of last year.
Yeah, that's now a nonpartisan congressional budget office said that this contains some of the largest reductions to federal health and safety and social safety net spending in decades. So that's not us saying it. That's the scorekeeper. That's their scorekeeper.
Yeah, when we're talking about their scorekeeper, we're talking about the ones that says nearly $1 trillion cut from I mean, let's repeat this again. Nearly trillion with a T dollars cut from Medicaid. Up to 11.8 million people projected to lose health coverage by 2034. And Medicare gets caught in the blast radius too, bro. This bill is just projected to add roughly $3.3 trillion. You see that alliteration? $3.3 trillion in national debt over the next decade.
Let me put that in plain English because 3.2 trillion, shout out to the alliterations, it sounds fake, but 3.3 trillion is 3,000, another more alliteration, and $300 billion. So we talked about billionaires for the past couple of days and weeks and whatnot, and that's 3,300 billion. And think about it, guys, that's more than an entire country's economy of France. That's more than the entire economy of the United Kingdom. And after adding that much to the debt, the federal budget rules automatically trigger hundreds of billions in Medicare reductions unless Congress steps in to override them. So you're cutting Medicaid and setting up Medicare to get cut in the same bill, essentially.
And let's not forget about the work requirements piece, okay?
Yeah.
People have to continuously prove, hey, government, I'm working, okay, just to qualify for an exemption so they can keep their Medicaid coverage. If you miss your paperwork, if you miss a reporting deadline, you can lose coverage.
Completely, guys, completely. And here's the part that stopped me cold. You know, I get angry when I talk about this. I get goosebumps because those rules, those work requirements, it's it's the toughest cuts. They don't and they don't kick in until after the midterms, guys. So this is all very much intentional. It's not like it started earlier this year, you know, which they could have. But no, they this is a strategic plan because they know it's unpopular.
They wrote it into the bill.
The pain of this is scheduled, guys, for after the ballot, for after you practice your freedom of speech of determining who you put your vote behind.
I don't think you heard me. All right. Yes, they wrote that into the bill. They feel like they got this in the bag, bro. They wrote it in the bill.
They did wrote it in the bill. And I'm not going to tell you what to think, guys. I'm just going to tell you to think a little bit, you know. I'm going to tell you what the CBO said, which is nonpartisan, not either side. They're the scorekeeper, and their scorekeeper said nearly $1 trillion cut from Medicaid, guys. Think about that. With 3.3 trillion gets added to the national debt, you do the math on who's paying for that.
No, factor in, just do the math, period. If something gets cut by $1 trillion and then something gets added for $1.3 trillion, yes, that's going to be something that we pay for. So here's how this all things connect, man, right? We gave you two stories. Abroad, he's a deal maker. Home, he's the bill. The people who can't afford $94 worth of barrel of gas are the same people who are projected to lose their insurance by 2034.
That's not a coincidence, guys. That is a set of priorities. You know, critics argue that it shifts costs to working families while the debt climbs. You know, and the headlines overseas happen, and nobody's actually telling the score of what's happening here. Nobody's counting.
Today, we're going to go deep. Pause. The Strait of Hormuz, which states are already fighting the Medicaid cuts in court right now, and what you and I, me and you, everybody listening, what we can actually do before November to impact what they can do after the midterms.
So they saved a ceasefire in Beirut and quietly scheduled your grandmother's insurance cut for the midterms.
One made the front page.
One was signed a year ago on 4th July.
But you can decide which one hits closer to home.
This is Everything Is. Let's get right into it, guys.
I tried to get health insurance in February, and did you know you can't? Did you know it's unavailable in February? I had no idea. I called like an idiot. I was like, one health insurance, please. And there's a lady on the other end like, what? You missed it. And I was like, the health insurance?
Definitely some topics that we feel strongly about and that we want to get right. We don't want to come here any day and give y'all something that is just only opinion, only just conjecture, and just us being waving our fists at the air. We want to give you some actionable context around things. So let's say you haven't heard of these news stories. You can be informed and feel like you have a little bit of a grasp of what's going on in the world at the moment.
Well, and to your point, you know, even with that code open, you know what I mean? That's not a monologue, the code open. Boy, if you ever tried to motherfucker get some insurance without a qualifying life event, first of all, raise your hand if you know what a qualified life event is. Nigga, you had to have one before you fucking knew what it was, motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah, man, unless you're like on freaking death's doorstep in America, they don't care. And, there is a certain time period that you can enroll. So that joke, he calls it in February. He's like, oh, yeah, you missed it. And he says, like, they treat healthcare like it's a gym membership. There's an enrollment period where you got to sign up. And I think sometimes we got to, as a community, as a society, is to, think logically about these things. I'm like, hey, does this make sense? And we have to use logic to really drive home, where you want to put your money behind, where you want to vote, and who you support going forward in life, in politics, and in life, period.
And I think we weren't going to start with healthcare and the big beautiful bill. But just if you paid attention to our monologue, we're going to get into the cuts of Medicaid and Medicare. But one of the things that kind of sparked this conversation as to why we wanted to talk was a video going around. And I'll probably be able to find it, obviously, probably after. But this is the spur of the moment where a doctor called. She had a patient. They had breast cancer, and she's literally under anesthesia. But before she can operate, she had to call the insurance company to get authorization to do, because if not, this lady with breast cancer is going to be stuck with the bill, and it wasn't going to be processed through her insurance. Exactly. And the insurance literally was like, hold on a minute. And she's like, we don't have a minute. Like, we have to
on the operating table right now. And they're like, yeah, don't save her life. Yeah, we don't approve it.
It's unbelievable, the racketeering that insurance companies are able to. Again, insurance in itself, we're gonna pay you for something just in case happens, and then if something does happen in there just in case, you gotta pay a deductible, you gotta meet your out of pocket, you got a maximum out of pocket that we can provide you for. You can only stay in the hospital this amount of time because that's the only amount of money we're gonna pay. So with all this money I done paid you, along with all the other thousands of people who have, it's like a bank. How the fuck I can go in the bank, my money not there? Nigga, everybody put their money in this bitch. Nigga, go in the back and go get me my money. Nigga say, no, you gotta have authorization first, or you gotta call ahead of time. Well, bitch, I didn't know I needed $100,000 today. I would like $100,000, please. No, you gotta come back next week. I gotta close on this house, and the nigga said he need the money right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's mind-boggling how we have something that we pay into, and it's never beneficial when we need it.
It's never there for us, and meanwhile, they're going to make a lot of tax cuts to the highest earners in this country, and then and make it even worse to get health care. And that's why we want to talk about it, because they're going to distract you with the war in Iran and all that stuff. And, you can get, it's like WWE, you can get super hype over a promo that someone cuts. But at the end of the day, the substance behind what they're saying, and the substance behind the realities of what's happening, it is a bunch of bullshit that we've seen the entire time. So like, you got to start tapping into, okay, what's going on behind things. And the reason why we want to talk about this today is because this Monday we talked about the Truth Social post by Donald Trump, and I do want to break it down because it is necessary to weed through the noise and understand what's really freaking going on with our foreign policy and the levers that are moving currently. And so, yeah, I do have a video I want to share with you where I think this is what the headline is, but then I want to give you guys a little take on where I'm looking at this and the lens that I see it from, because it is a little bit WWE-ish if you catch my drift, And
it's super poignant that you spoke about, us being more knowledgeable about foreign policies, because even in the monologue, bro, we have we wrote into it, you decide which one hits closer to home, because right now they're essentially making us choose which one that we pay attention to. And to be quite honest, even when they make us pay attention to the noise of the foreign policy, it's never even the nuts and bolts about.
They never explain it. I want to pick at that today. I want to really dissect this so you guys leave here knowing, okay, that's why they just can say a blanket statement like Iran shouldn't have nukes, and everybody's like, yes, Iran shouldn't have nukes, and not question it or nothing, and that's saying and approve the war because bad guy Iran, nukes no good. Meanwhile, North Korea got nukes. Meanwhile, Israel got nukes. Meanwhile, Pakistan got nukes. Meanwhile,
See,
India
we
got
talk
nukes.
about nukes, but we talk about nukes a lot. This right here now is more impactful to the economics of everyday people. Right now with the conversation that we're going to steer, I know that is a big kind of pertinent point of your argument that you want to expose.
Only because sorry, I'm going to cut you off. Only because I think that's what people understand right now. That's all they're saying. They're beating the propaganda. They're beating that into people's head. Iran can have nukes. Iran can. Meanwhile, the details of the Strait of Hormuz, they don't have any clue what's going on. The details of the bombing in Lebanon, how that affects Iran. They don't know that Iran and Lebanon are two different places. Like, people are genuinely confused. So what I like to do is, like, slow walk the dog. Take them from what you do know and then take you down to what you don't know and tell you the differences between the two.
Well, the thing that they do know is that gas is going up.
Exactly.
They don't give a fuck why. They don't give a fuck how. They don't give a fuck what is causing it. All they need to know is that, nigga, what's happening? Because first of all, this is the conversation, and I know we talk about reaching across the aisle and everything like that. I'm not sure how many Rams 3500s listen to our show. I'm not too sure how many Silverados 350s listen to our show. I don't know how, and if you follow my drift, nigga, you know what I don't know how many big ball testicles on the back of the truck is following the show. But this is what is going to get them possibly to pay attention a little bit, because again, to your point, no one really cares about that's the biggest thing. No one cares about our foreign policies or why that they even impact us the way they do, because which one's closer to home? Us at home trying to get health insurance. People ain't stopped having babies. I tell you that right now. Niggas is pregnant, right? It ain't me. Lord, no, it ain't me. But what I'm saying is niggas is pregnant, niggas is sick. Like,
man, you got an infant that's less than a year old, bro.
But what I'm saying is I'm cutting
it is off. You.
I'm cutting that motherfucker off. What that nigga K Camp said, hey man, get that bitch off, nigga. I'm cutting that bitch off, nigga. I'm looking at health insurance. Yes, I gotta cut it off.
That is outrageous, man.
That net in the sock, nigga.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, if you're still here with us, guys, please do follow us on Twitch. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Rocking with us. We are trying to, increase our Twitch following to 50, and we're trying to get our YouTube to 100. So if you guys can do us that favor, if you're here with us, please do us a favor and lock in with us. If you fuck with us, hit the bell icon on YouTube so you can see us every single day and know when we go live. You know when we over here dropping material. We drop stuff every single day, content daily. So yeah, you want to get into the video, or do you want to talk a little bit more about the current situation?
Let's get into the video, because I think that sets up. I think that leads us into all that we have to talk about, because I know you got some.
And mind you, the video, guys, it ain't shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you right now. But this is what they're gonna show you on the mainstream media, and then we can dissect it.
Yes, sir.
Netanyahu, Barack are known for having a very tight relationship that still obviously can get some pretty tense at times. Is this conversation any different?
Yeah, Wolf, I think Trump and Netanyahu have been very close, very coordinated, especially on Iran. But that doesn't mean that from time to time they don't have some significant differences that erupt in phone calls. And the U.S. official told me that the phone call they had yesterday around noon was what they've had since Trump came back to the White House. And during that call, Trump pretty bluntly told Netanyahu that he needs to stand down when it comes to his plan to order the...
Can you still hear it? Okay. It went off?
knocking
My
down
bad.
buildings in Beirut was a disproportionate response to what's been going on, to the fighting and the fact that Hezbollah is attacking Israeli soldiers in southern Lebanon and Israeli towns in northern Israel. Trump supported the Israeli retaliation, but not by knocking down buildings in Beirut. And I think that what led to this call. And during the call, Trump was very clear and very strongly worded when he told Netanyahu to stand down and not to move forward with the strike.
Does the tension, Barack, in this phone call partly come from the pressure that President Trump is under right now to try to bring this war to an end?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's part of it, because since the first ceasefire with Iran almost 2 months ago, it was clear that the Iranians want Lebanon to be part of the deal.
Okay.
Actually, in the announcement, in the Pakistani announcement of the ceasefire at the time, Lebanon was mentioned, and the Iranians want Lebanon to be part of any new memorandum of understanding with the U.S. and its act.
All right. That's enough. That's enough.
Want Lebanon to be included under their umbrella of protection, kind of what I'm gaining from what that was. And because they aren't, and then Israel doubles down and say they're not a part of it and we're about to wipe them out, Iran's like, oh, you think I'm pussy, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, and to what you played, Trump is looking at Israel like Saint was looking at Leon in that car. You about to fuck up my business by, you don't like how another motherfucker talk? You know what I'm saying? Like, like Trump is like, nigga, you about to fuck this up because you don't like how these niggas is like, bro, stand down. Stand down, nigga. But
So I've been wanting to introduce this part of the show for a while, and today I finally get to do it. Today we're going to talk a little bit of Trump Watch.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
And yeah, we got Bob there, guys. Welcome. But here's the thing. We're going to try to, at least me, I'm going to try to keep up-to-date tabs with what Trump is doing week to week, and try to, at least once a week, bring something to you that gives you a little bit of ideas of where this guy stands and where he's taking the country. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe any of that shit that we just saw on CNN. And that's just me. Maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. Maybe I'm, but I don't believe, I'm not saying that the conversation didn't happen, but I'm saying that people are going to spend this like Trump is always laying the law down. He really cares about the gas prices and shit. I'm not so sure, and if he does, it's probably specifically due to the midterms, right? And he doesn't want that to fall back on his people his candidates that he's running and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I still don't. But even that, I don't know if he cares that much. There's a bunch of hypocrisy when it comes to this, because a couple of weeks ago they said, how much does the Americans? Let me see if I can find it. They said, how much does the Americans' financial situation, how much does that come into mind when you make your foreign policy? And he said, not at all.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he's a known liar, so I mean, we can, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So here's the thing. Let me play that real quick. And just so we're on the same page, right?
Yeah, I think to your point. You got it.
Mr. President, to what extent are Americans, when you're negotiating with Iran, Mr. President, to what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about American financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all. That's the only thing that bothers me.
Support journalism.
So I don't believe that he's all of a sudden like, oh, you're fucking crazy, Netanyahu. You would be in jail if it wasn't for me. I think a lot of that is to play to a base. I think a lot of that is to play to the America First base, which is also, to me, America First is still white supremacist in my mind. I'm also American First, but the people who are like America First and completely ignore the America's role in what's going on right now are completely blinded. And it's just another extension of putting, it's another extension of white supremacy that I think is just going to become an anti-Semitic virtue signaling. Because the goal is not to be a Nazi. The goal is to find what's best for the country while taking into account America's role into this. Because if Trump wasn't working with Israel and giving money to Israel and getting us into an unnecessary war, these guys would still be backing Trump for the immigration stuff, still be backing Trump for all that stuff. But when we put into perspective what's going on over there, the ceasefire is at risk because essentially Iran is protecting Lebanon, and Hezbollah is in Lebanon, which is, I know it gets complicated, but Hezbollah is like its own militia, approved by the Lebanon government. It's a whole different country than Iran. Then we got Palestine, who is under apartheid with Israel. They are legitimately being oppressed, and it's almost like it's imperialism. That's why they're calling it a genocide up there in Palestine. But what Israel is doing is they're tactically taking spots in the Middle East and tactically attacking places that may, whether allies to Iran or can weaken or support and weaken the potential for people to fight back, because their goal is to take over the Middle East. Let's be real. That's what Israel's trying to do. That's why when there's a ceasefire and Trump got us into this whole war to begin with, and we're like, oh shit, they're closing the Strait of Hormuz. Gas prices are now up 8%. Now I got to tap into reserves, but gas prices are hitting $5 a gallon almost. He's sitting here and he's like, okay, I did this shit for no reason. It's not working. It's not going well. Publicly, he's not looking well. But there's no reason for Israel to stop bombing. So when you make us your own ceasefire with Iran, Israel can sit there behind the scenes and say, yes, we approve. But deep down inside, you will. So what we talked about in the monologue, Trump gets to look publicly like he's doing something, but meanwhile, there is no incentive to stop bombing. They just bombed near a hospital blocks. I want to pull up the footage of what happened over there, because it is horrific. And sometimes these images are necessary for you guys to get the full picture. That this is Israel just taking their imperialism another layer, further than what we expect. Meanwhile, they get to publicly say that, okay, there was never a ceasefire, and they play this both sides thing where they can talk to Donald Trump and then forget and it doesn't matter what he says. They can do whatever they want.
This is a part two of yesterday. We were just talking about Peter Thiel, right? A person acting as what? With imperialism, right? Like, he's acting right where it seems like he can play both sides, right? He can come to America. He can speak with politicians. He doesn't necessarily follow any rhyme or reason or order, right? And so when you look at this particular situation where them two are backdoor high-fiving each other, realistically, like, again, if we're talking about all the money funneled into Israel, if we're talking about all of the political influence that Israel has over our United States government, Israel can look exactly how they want to look, we not stopping what we doing. And then Trump can look exactly how he wants to do. like a nobody nothing who does nothing that gets headlines if as he did something.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is, right? And they can both high five with the bro with me because I fucked up for nothing. Them niggas did nothing for us, and they high five each other, and they get to be exactly who they want to be with nobody ever to call them out. But when they do, it's just like, well, no, that's his fault. Well, no, that's his fault. And
Thank you.
nobody takes
Thank you.
accountability.
And that's where I think we have to just dissect and filter out the noise of this. Oh, Trump was having some tough talks. That's not the problem, guys. The problem is there's a bunch of people out there that are not holding this guy accountable when it comes to this catastrophe. He can't just put out a little bit of bars on Netanyahu. He said it last year he said they don't know what the fuck they're doing, when it comes to, Palestine and Israel. Now this year he's like, oh, he's crazy. But between that, do you guys remember during Easter where he says he's going to, blow Iran off the map? And it's going to be, he's going to completely be like eradicating a whole civilization. He also said that just like 2 months ago, or not even, so let's keep it a buck. This guy knows what he's doing. It's all calculated for the news cycle. So,
well, I just also. Oh, go ahead. No,
I'm just gonna say, like, I think what gets lost in this is the fact that, and this is why I bring up the nuke situation, is that you saw him in that clip. He's saying, "Oh, America shouldn't have a nuclear weapon." Guys, Israel has nukes, bro. Israel has nukes, and guess what? Globally, America does not acknowledge that Israel has nukes. So we're in a position where we want to negotiate with Iran, a sovereign nation that needs certain securities that, hey, Iran is fucking with us. How are we, who you've supported and are partially, Israel is fucking with us.
With you.
How are we supposed to trust you, America, who also bombed us, who are also not going to honestly come to the table and admit that Israel has nukes? For some reason, globally, nationally, I'm talking globally and nationally, we can't admit that Israel has nuclear weapons. And the reason why I bring this up is because if that's the case, then you can't, in good faith, negotiate with Iran. Iran can't say, listen, man, we all know that they got nukes. So there's no incentive for them to stop. And there's no incentive for us to stop our nuclear enrichment. Mind you, they don't even have a nuke in Iran. They're just trying to stop their enrichment of uranium and crude oil because that's what you need to make a bomb. And the fact that they can't protect themselves means that we can never convince them to stop, because how are you going to tell somebody, hey, listen, man, don't buy a gun, man. I'm just going to come over there and beat y'all up whenever, because I got guns. And I know that, I got guns, but I'm going to go beat you up and take your oil, take your land, and just be okay. And then we come back and we're like, all right, my bad. I'm sorry. Let's not fight each other anymore. I know you took a couple of shots at us. We took a couple of shots at you. But how do we have any assurance that you're not going to come back and do the same thing?
Well, this is why. Let's be real. I know you want to take it to the nukes conversation, but I just want to divert just a little bit to the Strait of Hormuz, right? That to me, I know they're talking about nukes.
I'm following you because this is important.
But that to me is because weapons of mass destruction was used for Iraq, but what was it really for? Their reserves of oil, right? If we're talking about right now, who technically controls the Strait of Hormuz, right? When we're speaking about a quarter or a fifth, or let's just say 20% of the world,
the world's oil,
and they said the world, Craig, like not the city, but the world. 20% of global crude oil comes through that. Okay?
And by September, if this is not fixed, watch out for gas prices. Like, it's gonna go crazy because the reserves are already being depleted, and crazy.
And so Iran sits at the north, and Oman's is at the bottom. They share the strait, and it's only 21 miles. I think we kind of talked about it in brief previously, in previous episodes. But there is Iranian naval forces that patrol that water, right? And even during Biden's administration, Biden's former energy advisor, Amos Hochstein, said publicly, no matter what happens, the Iranians will control the Strait of Hormuz for the foreseeable future. It doesn't even matter what the deal says. So now, if you think about that, you put that in context, Netanyahu has calculations, Trump has calculations, and to your point when you're asking who can help them, they do have the axis of resistance, right? They do have a group or a faction. We spoke about Hezbollah out of Lebanon. We talk about Yemen. We talk about Iraq. We talk about Palestine territories. Granted, none of those really fall under as a superpower, but let's not forget how many people we as a country fucked over. So Iran literally has global strategic partners in China and Russia who can get into this fight and fuck some shit up. So Iran can sit back, really, and see if they play pussy to get fucked.
Oh my God!
If that's really the truth, they got something in their back pocket, bro.
You hit the nail on the head when it comes to the strait, because that's literally your only real leverage right now in the ceasefire. If it wasn't for that, they would have been bombed out the fucking earth already. And it's sad. It's sad to say, but I first of all, I'm not sure about that, because they got bombs, but they don't got nukes, right? Iran, they ain't pussy. They've already been bombed.
My soul, they not pussy.
Yeah, they already been bombed a couple times, and they have
not just recently. They killed their supreme bro. It's like they president, the supreme leader. Yeah. Like we're not even talking about. I'm sorry to keep cutting you off, but now I'm passionate. Nigga, they got every right to stand on whatever business that they motherfucker want to stand on. We did bomb them. We, as in connection with Israel, who was fucking a tag along. Israel got their motherfucking pocket inside out hanging, and our little bitch ass is holding that fucking pocket, cuz like they do in Oz or whatever fucking jail movie. We walking around like some bitches on Israel's fucking pocket and are named as accomplice that kills their prime leader, their supreme leader. Nigga, we not nigga.
And I don't even like that narrative, because Israel, yes, a lot of their stuff, and we have a lot of the same interest, I think.
Yes, we do.
But
yes, we do.
I hate when we absolve America's just as if we're just walking around, as if Trump is not making decisions for this to happen. The reason why no president has started a war with Iran, because they understand the significance of the Strait of Hormuz.
But he's not a politician.
Listen,
he said that 10 years ago.
It's not even about being a politician. It's just about being at least a little bit smart, to have some smart people in the room to understand that you don't start a war with Iran when they control 25% of the fucking oil in the world. Listen. What? Now you want to cut me off again?
Hold on. You put Trump and smart in the same sense. I just got to cut you off real quick, because I know you flowing. I know you moving. I know you talking. I know, but nigga, like B-Dot said, words mean things. Okay? And you put Trump.
But my point is that you don't even gotta be a politician. Actually, it's not even like you just gotta be a little bit knowledgeable about that geography and foreign policy and history to understand that this strait right here is controlled by Iran. And if you strike them, they can shut this shit down. And that's exactly what happened.
He's not one of them.
and now we're in a war that we cannot win, guys. And we're fucked, because we're in between two countries that are not going to stop. They're not going to stop shutting down the Strait of Hormuz unless, we honestly can put in assurances that they're not going to be attacked. And we can't control Israel. And Israel's going to do what the hell they want. And you can't just what they're doing is, okay, we haven't attacked Iran in a month. Let's attack Lebanon. because that's an ally. That's what they're doing right now, and they're hurting civilians, guys. They hit like a 3-block radius and near a hospital. The hospital was
So let's
demolished as well.
let's just keep tabs. This is Palestine. This is Palestinian territories. We got in Gaza, right? We have Iran, and we have the southern part of Lebanon.
Yeah.
They clearly,
and they intended to go further up in Lebanon, to Beirut. So they clearly are in a active imperialist takeover mindset. They're not trying to do any diplomacy right now, and we have given them the green light because of this idiot president. And now you want to say this guy's crazy? Oh,
well, yeah, but I mean, this is what. But Chidi, again, this is what. What's the word for it? Because I mean, this is what delusion looks like, right? Like, let's just peel it back. And I'm not giving him no bill. I'm not caping. But when you say no president in the hit, like listen, let's just do a little tally. How many of no president in the United States of history does Trump fall under in anything? Like everything he has done. And I am not saying that this shouldn't fall against the grain thing, but when he's platforming his campaign off of xenophobia, right? Let's not even forget that, bro. Let's not forget making America great again is based off of, like we originally said, some white nationalists, white supremacists, white is over everything. And of course, all of our wars have been against the Middle East to some degree. So it's an easy fucking, when you say he's trying to get people on his side, he's been doing that, right? It's so easy for people to be like, well, I don't really want to go to war, but yeah, those Middle Easterns can't, we don't, you're like it's already ingrained in us a little bit. So he's, like I said, he's taking playbooks from other people, right? Let's not, and again, the economics of it all, because bro, he's lining not only his pockets, he's lining Netanyahu's pockets, he's clearly lining Peter Thiel pockets. Like the pockets are being lined up as things are being overlooked, supposedly overlooked. But we've also talked about his signature. The pen is as mighty as the sword, my lord. Nigga, his pen might be the illest pen in American history, cuz like the swipe of his pen has so much impact.
They talked about Biden. That's crazy to me, bro. Like, the freaking auto pen and shit like that. Listen, there's gonna be a lot that has to be done to reverse some of the shit that this guy is doing, foreign and domestically. I just want to give y'all the context of like how bad this situation is, because it's supposed to be done in 4 weeks, and I don't see this going anywhere anytime soon. And things get really worse as far as gas prices, inflation, and I want everybody to prepare themselves. I think as much as you can, be with your family and try to see, budget the best way you can, because it's so important right now that you brace yourself for what's coming as far as the inflation and the gas prices going up, if they can't really come to a ceasefire. Now, Iran one day might wake up and be like, you know what, fuck it, we're opening up the strait, we're going to take our chances, and we're going to see if we can actually, if Israel can be contained.
Boy, that's gonna be an act of God, boy. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, and it's I don't know if that's gonna happen, but maybe one day they do. I don't know. Maybe we can make some concessions. Maybe we can actually, but for that to happen, we would have to some degree, split from our ally in Israel, and we would have to say, listen, they got nukes. We understand that they have nukes, and this is the nuclear program, and we also would have to, but if we completely acknowledge that, then we acknowledge Iran's need for uranium. Mind you, they don't even have a bomb to put it in. They just want to enrich uranium so they can study and put things together as far as protecting their people and having a leg to stand on when it comes to this arms race. And I want to just touch on that because like all this, that's like this. That's what they're going to keep telling you, the nukes, the nukes, the nukes. I want you guys to look in your spirit and in your hearts and look into your and think about your mind. And the NRA would say, everybody should have a gun. They should have guns in schools because if everybody got a gun, no one's going to be able to, fuck around and do some shit they shouldn't do and bring guns to school. Think about it from a nuke standpoint, man. If one place has a nuke and another place doesn't have a nuke, then and they want to protect themselves, at least that's a deterrent of like, all right, maybe we should not bomb them anymore. Maybe then brings some type of diplomacy in the Middle East. Now, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying we did that with Japan. We bombed them, and afterwards, the world said, "Hey, let's not do that again." And then we had a Cold War with Russia. And we didn't throw a nuke, and they didn't throw a nuke. But now we have at least, all right, boom. We're gonna work on our things. You're gonna work on your things, and we're gonna be cool. And we're gonna use diplomacy to communicate and
diplomacy is getting rid of the nukes. If we talk about if you want to talk about the
that's a whole nother conversation. I'm with you.
Yeah, but but my thing is you like think about it where the NRA, and I would say even in America. There is a pushback as for gun control,
exactly.
Right? Like so.
That's the truth of the matter. We should get rid of nukes, period. But we have the most, and we should start with us. But if we start with us, then we're vulnerable. So the cat's almost out of the bag when it comes to nuclear, facilities. No one's gonna go into North Korea and say, "Hey, man, you can't have a nuke." No one's gonna do that because they ain't gonna listen. They don't even think the freaking sun rises without Kim Jong-un's approval, like dead ass. So
it doesn't, Ken. It doesn't. Don't fuck up over here, brother.
I mean, he didn't like that movie. What was that? The James Franco movie?
Not, nigga.
Yeah, The Dictator. But yeah, I really, it's a tough conversation because it gets really crazy. When we talk about, Lebanon and Hezbollah and them classifying Hezbollah as, terrorists, and then we're classifying Hamas as terrorists. But think about it. Would you think that the Haitian Revolution was terrorists at the time? They called them terrorists too. But they are an oppressed country. So a lot of the people are going to use propaganda and tell you that Iran can't have a nuke. Then I want you to ask yourself why. Why can't Iran have a nuke? And I'm not saying they should. I want to be clear. I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying that why can't we ask that question and get a real answer as to what would happen if they did? Because Israel has one. Pakistan has one. India has one. All in that somewhat same close area, And the reason why they don't just fuck with Pakistan, and Pakistan is kind of Switzerland right now and kind of broker between the United States and Iran, is because they're not getting fucked with. And everybody knows why.
Well, I think to the point of what you just said, if Iran has a nuke, then the places that they protect and around them has a nuke. And it's almost like, we poor kids around the way. If one of us come across a bag and we run in the house and like, yo, my God, look what I just found. It's all our bag. You know what I'm saying? If y'all find keys to a car in the parking lot, then man, I got the car on Tuesday. I got the car on Wednesday.
Listen, I'm not gonna put it in that perspective. How about this? If we're kids and we all get a bag of candy, I want because that car might be somebody else's car.
But that's my point. That's my point. I listen. Iran don't care how they get their scraps and make that weapon.
No, but it would be theirs if they were to make it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the scraps ain't coming from nothing but their own enriching of uranium. which they
But I
have the
believe that
ability to do. Like, we are just trying to say,
believe-
hey, let's look into your facilities and make sure you're not doing that. And we had a
Do you
deal
not-
under Obama to do that. It was taken out. It was replaced when Trump got into office in the first term. We already
Well, do
had
you not believe that access will help? Do you not believe that do you not believe that because Iran funds and arms and trains that network of people, do you not believe that those network of people will automatically be in when we're talking about Lebanon, when we're talking about Yemen, when we're talking about the Palestinian territories in Iraq? Do you not believe that will be a universal nuclear weapon, or would that just be an Iran nuclear weapon? That's the question.
My thing is, does it, regardless of either if it is or not,
Yeah,
does it stop Israel from fucking shit up?
No, because if I'm telling you, if I'm Iran,
is it a deterrent? Is it a deterrent for Israel to maybe not kill people?
Yes.
That's all I'm trying to ask right now. Because we're not. I don't think people are asking the right questions when it comes to Iran having a nuke. If they did have a nuke, would it be a deterrent for Iran to chill out and stop a genocide and stop bombing hospitals and schools?
Israel.
I'm sorry, I keep saying would it be a deterrent if Iran had a nuke for Israel to stop bombing hospitals, stop bombing roads and bridges and Lebanon and Palestine, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah. So let's really ask ourselves, if Iran did have a nuke, if that is a deterrent for Israel to be in line and be checked to a degree.
That's why I said it's everybody's nuke, because if Israel were to bomb Lebanon, even though, like you said, Lebanon is not fucking Iran, if Israel bombs Lebanon, you best believe Iran is bombing back for their boy. That's why I said it's a collective nuke. If Lebanon gets bombed, Lebanon is calling Iran and say, "Hey, can I bomb that?"
Do we then have? If we talk about peace in the Middle East, I know this might be radical, but does peace in the Middle East come from Iran getting a nuke? And I'm just asking the question. I'm not saying that's right. Is that possible? Because maybe at that point, just like USA and Russia were in that Cold War, and we kind of had like, all right, we're gonna chill. We're gonna use diplomacy, and we're not gonna shoot a nuke at each other for no fucking reason. We're gonna sit here and we're going to sit down at the table and negotiate for years. We've been doing it for the Cold War was what, in the 1950s, so we've been doing this for like 60 years of negotiating behind the scenes with Russia. Not that we're allies, but we ain't necessarily enemies and bombing each other, so
I don't have my tinfoil hat on, but I will debut it.
I did get a bottom third, man.
This is my thing. I'm listening to you. This is a real thing. When we're talking about when we just talked about the powerhouses that can back Iran, and we say if this shit stretch on, pay attention to China. China is the primary economic ally and buyer of Iranian oil. Bound by a 25-year corporation agreement integrated with the Belt and Road Initiative.
China ain't fucking around, bro. China is not fucking around, bro.
So listen, nigga, you know how, again, you see that the unhoused man, if you got $100 in ones, you might get that person $1. Nigga, if China motherfuckers slide one of them motherfuckers over Iran, nigga, it's curtains. Because then what Israel gonna do to China? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Because what United States gonna do with Israel to go to China? Nothing. Not a damn thing. And we keep talking about China is the world's powerhouse. We keep talking about how China just be keeping it cordial. Nigga, China's Kendrick. Nigga.
We're Drake, definitely.
Nigga, it's a friendly fade until you fuck around, nigga. It's a friendly fade until you fuck around and we drop euphoria on your ass, nigga.
That's so true, bro.
LA,
that is so true.
Grams, nigga. Now, nigga, China can drop bomb.
Yo, just now, I mean, I didn't get a video and prepare for this, but just last week, Trump was in China and he gave there's like they've pre-approved them for like mad farmland in America. And he's like, yo, people are foreclosing on their farmlands right now in America, so we're just gonna give it to China because nobody's gonna be able to pay, but China could pay. It's so crazy that they don't really want it. Yo, guys, the government don't really fuck with you guys. Like they don't really fuck with us, guys. They don't really fuck with their own people.
When we talk about that, this is why I say this how we get them 3,500 trucks. This how we get them 350s. This how we get them this how we get these Silverados, right?
We're trying. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them in the comments already.
Make America great. They in the comments already.
They in the comments. They mad, but they in the comments. But go ahead, though.
Listen, the "Make America Great Again" slogan. If you pay attention to the moves and how they're moving, ask yourself right now, please. What is great about America? If we can't tell Israel what to do, if we don't have low gas prices, if they about to cut Medicaid and Medicare, and if we scared of China on the real, what makes us great right now? Yeah. What makes us champion such a slogan that for 10 years showed us that we ain't nothing but pussies? Nothing. Because I'm telling you right now, the reason why Trump and all his billionaire friends and tech CEOs and whatever the case may be is over to China is to make sure, hey man, we got a problem? Because I'm trying to close this ceasefire. I'm trying to open up the Strait. But this nigga over here tripping. If you retaliate, I just want to let you know, don't include us. We cool, right?
Yeah, we'll let 5 million Chinese people go to our colleges. They're fine with that immigration, right? So that's what's happening. That's what he said. We're gonna invite more Chinese, to come over to America, come to our colleges. We need them because the colleges aren't getting as many enrollments now. People can't pay for college, so you can't pay for your land, you can't pay for college. So we got to get the Chinese to come do it over here and take your land and go to college for us.
We can't pay for gas and we can't pay for health insurance and and we don't have jobs.
They're trying to make America great again.
AI, my nigga, we don't have jobs.
They put a slogan in front of your face, "Make America great again," without making Americans great, and they don't give a fuck about Americans being great. America being great is him being great, him and his friends being great. And I think that's where they're losing. The Trump guys are losing it. They are losing the plot when it comes to who this man is and what the fucking objective has been for the past, decade with this guy. So I know that's a lot. I know we jumped around and all that shit, but it's all important, guys. It's really important that we stay aware of this regime, what's going on actually on the front lines of this conflict, because you get to stay tapped in. Don't get distracted by how of just headlines of like, Trump just told Netanyahu he's crazy, and just like yeah he's fighting back. But then you saw what he did last week in China, and you see that Netanyahu doesn't really give a damn about what Trump says, because he'll say in his face, yeah, deal, and then go bomb tomorrow, and there's nothing that's going to stop him.
Do we pivot into $11.8 million Lumen health care? Sure, health. Damn, I can't even talk, nigga. Do we go from one catastrophe to another, nigga? How do we make a pivot from that, nigga?
I mean, as the mainstream media will, say over here, war, drama, text, tweet, a phone call, like do the whole, celebrity, reality TV bullshit they do. You got to stay tapped into what's going on the ground floor here domestically, because guys, man, the one big beautiful bill is really the one big bullshit bill, guys, and we haven't talked about it.
Let's give you a break because you are ripping shit today, my nigga.
Am I? I'm tame to me, like
nigga, you are just nigga. He's like this. This one gets horse shit. I never wanted salmon. I said it 4 times. My thing is killing it right now. No, but to Chidi's point, absolutely. But I just before we talk about the one beautiful bill, I do have a video I want to get to. I don't know if my screen is shared with you, but there is a video that I would like to show that kind of gives you an introduction of exactly where we're at and where we're heading. It's going to be a little lengthy, but bear with me. It'll give us a lot of information.
Give me 1 second. Wait. You got to go back. For some reason, you are not being shared.
Okay.
Right, now you're being shared.
All right.
Let me just make sure it's centered. Wait 1 second. Let me see. Make sure it's centered.
I'm going to enlarge it.
Okay.
I'm going to full screen it.
Shit, I still need to center it. All right. All right, boom.
18 million Americans over the age of 65. Most of them have low income. Most of them are threatened by illness and medical expenses that they cannot afford. And through this new law, Mr. President, each citizen will be able, in his productive years when he's earning, to insure himself against the ravages of illness in his old age. This insurance will help pay for care in hospitals, in skilled nursing homes, or in the home.
That was President Lyndon B. Johnson speaking at the signing ceremony of the law that would become the modern-day Medicaid and Medicare programs. Tomorrow marks the 60th anniversary of that signing, as the future of the 2 landmark healthcare programs is in question. Our next guest says the cuts in President Trump's so-called one big beautiful bill that target Medicaid will actually impact Medicare as well. And joining us now, retired scholar at the American Enterprise Institute, Norm Ornstein. He is the co-author of the book titled Intensive Care, How Congress Shapes Health Policy. Norm, thank you for being here.
Sure.
So talk to us, give us your assessment here as to the impact of this piece of legislation.
You know, let's start, John, with the reality that we had a hellscape in America before 1965 for senior citizens and for poor people. And it's been transformative. What we've seen all of this attention on the Medicaid cuts in the so-called one big beautiful bill. But what's gone largely unnoticed is that because this bill adds trillions to the deficit, we've had a provision in the law called PAYGO, pay-as-you-go budgeting. And that means automatic cuts in a number of other programs because we're going deeper into debt. $533 billion scheduled to be cut from Medicare over the next decade, 4% a year. And it's going to create real problems, and not just for seniors, because we have a lot of other people who are affected by Medicare. And of course, it's interrelated with the whole healthcare system. So with the changes in the Affordable Care Act, the changes in Medicaid, we're seeing from hospitals to doctors to the entire infrastructure of the healthcare system is under siege.
So tell us some of the real world impacts here. Who are some of the people across this country? And let's be clear, many of these people voted for President Trump. How will their lives change?
You know, what's so interesting about this and tragic in many ways is that the people who will be most affected are the Trump voters. It's rural voters, it's poorer white voters, it's people in small towns that don't have as much of an infrastructure in the healthcare system. We've already seen stresses in hospitals. And one thing that's also important to remember is that it's not just the hospitals that are going to go under or dramatically cut their services. That will put enormous strains on every other hospital. And that means that we're going to see stresses in the system. We're going to see, if you're going to an emergency room, no matter where you are, you might have a wait that's much, much longer. We know that some doctors, if the rates get cut, are going to say, we're not going to take Medicare anymore. And that means people are going to have to find other providers. And when you add to that, we have a lot of dual eligibles, people who are on both Medicare and Medicaid, poor people. The nursing home program, which is the largest share of Medicaid, we're already seeing nursing homes under stress and closing. Before we had Medicare and Medicaid, seniors who were unable to care for themselves were either out on the street or having to live with their families. Now, because of Medicaid and its interaction with Medicare, they can go into nursing homes. We're going to see problems all throughout the system that we haven't had nearly as much of in the last 60 years.
I know that was a little long, and I know that was probably a lot of information, but before I had a deep dive or we got into our commentary about it and deconstructing it, I wanted to give a little bit of quick synopsis of where we're at and where it possibly could be going. So what that man was discussing in layman terms is it's going to bottleneck and then it's going to trickle down. Okay. The numbers that we did in the monologue, we can speak about it right now. When you reach a certain amount of debt, it triggers a certain amount of cuts. So we're up to $1 trillion in cuts because the deficit or the national debt is up to $3 trillion. So damn near triple of the cuts. So when you break down and do the math there, you think about, I have the numbers right here, so I don't even have to even speculate. Right now, there is approximately 36 million children. That is 41% of all United States children that are covered and enrolled. That's roughly 1 in every 5 person in the country is in Medicare. 27 million working age adults. 10 million people have disabilities, and almost 8 million seniors are Medicaid and Medicare insured. So
yeah, the children, the working adults, the people with disabilities, primarily is Medicaid, but the seniors, Medicare, obviously, once you get to that age, and they have Medicaid.
60% of all nursing homes pay with Medicaid, right? Medicaid pays
60%.
60. Medicaid pays for 60% of all nursing home residents. So when we talk about that grandmother angle, like that's why that sticks. My oh shit, man. My grandmother's in a nursing home. My grandmother has Medicaid and Medicare. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother lived with family members, and it wasn't a burden. It was just tough, right? We need nurses. We need so. And we talk about the money invested. My grandmother paid her taxes. My grandmother paid into her Social Security. My grandmother paid into her pension. But all that shit get wiped away, bro, when we talk about these fucking tax cuts. When we talk about these billionaires, when we talk about these companies, when we talk about the insurance companies, that shit gets washed and wiped away, and she damn near gets paid. So when we was talking about food stamps, I'm going to be real. I'm going to tell you a God honest truth. I know niggas that game the system that is not my grandmother. Fuck it, that's their business. But my grandma got $12, bro. $12 on food stamps. It's appalling. It's disgusting. It puts families into strife. So now we talk about middle-aged workers Like my uncle, who's a police officer, my mother's a retired correctional officer, my aunt, who works for the state as a social worker, it puts their family in strife as they are going through the rise of their everyday trying to live life, and then now they have to cover the expenses of the government that will not cover for their mother, who that is the trickle down effect when we talk about a bottleneck and then a trickle down. Now you got the grandson of a grandmother that's damn near about to cry to the clouds of whoever the fuck's watching the show for them to even understand what we talking about here. This is the real problem. This right here is how you connect the stories. When you can't pay for the gas to go check on grandma, or you're sacrificing another bill to take care of the booth rent of her staying in a nursing home. That is how these two things connect. That is what we're saying, that abroad this nigga can look like a king deal maker in China with Netanyahu and fucking Israel. Around the globe, he can pretend to be this motherfucking grandiose dictator who's running shit, and at home, he's killing his people. People will die. We're talking about 11.8 million people that will lose health insurance between now and 2034. Let's do the math. 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034. We have 2 presidential cycles to redirect, course correct goddamn decades of shit that he is already put into place with this one beautiful bill. So that's why before you cut off and called it the one big bullshit bill, it was some shit I had to get off this chest. This hairy ass, drink Hennessy ass chest, because damn life is hard. Nigga, I don't see, nigga, yes. I can see why so many liquor and alcohol commercials. Nigga, promote as much as vices. We need a vice. We need a vice to get through everyday life. And it shouldn't be that way. But when Chidi's going off and he's talking about a smart president, we ain't had that. I don't think, let's take it back. Has we had a smart, competent, for the American people president since motherfucker Obama? Because I know for damn sure how much money Biden sent to Ukraine, nigga, while we was out here struggling literally right after a motherfucking goddamn pandemic. Nigga, I know how much money he the motherfucking sent off. I already know he was bought by Israel. We already know where the AIPAC money come from. So when this nigga Trump comes on and say, I'm not like these other politicians, yes, the wool was over our eyes the first time. Why the fuck are we sheep now with the wool covering our eyes this time? We cover with our own brother's blood. We cover with our own brother's skin. We cover with our own brother's wool because we decided to go in blind willingly. That's our fault. That's our fault. So when he signs that bill last year, July 4th, this is what we get on the 250th anniversary of America. This is the result of that. When we're celebrating and we got a fucking UFC fight on the lawn of the White House, this is what we're celebrating. Happy fucking birthday.
Just gotta take a moment because I couldn't have said it better myself, brother. I couldn't have said it better myself. So I'm glad you broke it down like that. Listen, man, this is affecting real life people, bro. This is affecting real life people. And like Chris said it, people are gonna die, you know? Point blank period. People are gonna die. Well, we have people, and this is why I get so passionate, like when we see people like Jackson Dart standing by this guy. Because when you're aware of what's happening, you're standing by a guy who's gonna kill Americans, who's already killed Americans last year on July 4th with his pen. A guy for the sake of tax cuts to the rich. And the gravity of that, knowing that ahead of time, that we're going to go through a midterm election and a majority of Americans have no clue what's going to really happen come 2027. Nigga, I don't think I'm going to have health insurance. I think I'm one of those people that are going to get cut. I dead ass think that because, you know, but it's not even about me. It's about like the majority. At least I know that's coming. You know, I'm aware that, hey, this is on the horizon. I might not be able to see my doctor next year. But what about the people that don't know? What about the people that are going to cast it for a senator, a governor, a House representative that that is all for the big beautiful bill and going to tell you, hey guys, I'm running with Trump and I'm running against, you know, the immigration policy or, you know, whatever, you know, that's what we are trying to say. Like the people who are super blind, like you said, with the wool pulled under their eyes for the second time, that are going to go and cast a ballot for another person that is going to fuck their lives over and hurt somebody they love or themselves.
And this is and so we're talking about unreported news, right? When we're talking about things that don't meet and this is why you need people not bought. This is why the purchase of the merger of Warner Brothers and Paramount did not need to go, because now look at where all of the media is owned and look who then donates to the president. And then now let's look why we don't have news reported like this that you have to go dig up and tell. So this is the numbers that I got right here. Unreported piece right here. About 2,086 rural hospitals receive Medicaid revenue. That's at a median of 3.9 million each year, right? The average rural hospital operating margin is at 3.1%. That's super thin. Medicaid payments drop significantly. Some hospitals will close. And this is the thing right here. And I know numbers and percentages and everything like that. Let's just look at this. The bill itself, it reduces income for the bottom 20% of household earnings by 2.9%. So that means income in your household for who earn less than $14,000 a year, about $700 a year. If you earn already less than $14,000 a year, this bill is going to reduce your income $700 more dollars, nigga. And the top 1% earners, they get the tax cut. They get the tax
The people
cut.
who already have health care.
Who have the money to pay for outright, even if they don't have the health care.
Yeah.
The people names who are on the hospital.
Yeah, they get a tax cut.
Dumb people. They get the tax cut. And also, listen, we're not just talking about Medicaid, because that's what we said.
Mm-hmm.
Medicare, SNAP benefits, student loan programs. What are you like these? Like, bro, the tax cut in this bill. No more tax on tips. No tax on overtime. Senior deductions. Okay, but SNAP benefits, Medicaid, Medicare, student loan programs. Who the fuck if you get taxed on tips, nigga? It's cash. Report the tips.
Yo,
dumbass.
He's like, I'll give y'all tips while I'm taking trillions of dollars from the government. I'm gonna give y'all your tips. You guys, not even gonna give you your tips. The tax on the tips. You guys can have that. No tax on tips. And people will take the crumbs and say he's doing something. And it's like we're living in a fucking false reality where you say this stuff and they'll fight you on this. Like they'll fight you like, oh, no tax on tips, one beautiful bill. Oh my God, make America great. And it's like, brother, I want you to have healthcare, bro. I want your grandmother to have healthcare. I want your family. I want your kids. You know, I want the best for all people. I really truly want the best for MAGA Trump supporters too. I want them to have a good life. I want to be able to pay for college, get SNAP if necessary. and we're the ones to blame for calling this shit out, for being anti, the policies that he's pushing forward. And like you've been breaking this down like a fraction, bro, and I gotta give you your props. Like, thank you, because you were able to tell it, and not only that, bring it home to something personal with you. And you're right, this is how people need to hear it. This is how people, that's going to hopefully reach the hearts and minds of people, like, yeah, I could debate about the nuclear stuff, I can debate about Iran, stuff like that, but this is where I want to get to, and that's why I want to get that out the way first, because this deserves the conversation that's necessary to really take a deep dive on the numbers with this stuff, because this was signed into. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, because I was going to say I'm playing your role. I have solutions. So once you
I see them here too. I was going to get to that,
yeah, okay.
but this is why people need to not be blinded by the mainstream media. When you talk about the oligarchs and that are going and consolidating the national media, they are not talking about this the way that guy just broke down. Like, I know that MSNBC, but how many people are watching MSNBC? How many people are going to then believe, even though Trump has been saying fake news for 10 years, and the people have now turned their ears off, bro, unless they really trust somebody close to them. And even if they trust somebody close to them, if it goes against their world narrative, to break down the logical fallacies of this world, and what they believe America is. Like, they still think America's this world power, and that we're land of the free, home of the brave. You still got opportunity if you work hard, put yourself by your boots. They truly believe that's real, and that gives to them this glossy look through a stained glass window of what reality is. But when you take that glass out the way, it's ugly. So when you pull that glass a little bit and you're like, oh my God, it's ugly out here, they almost want to pull it back. Oh, no, I don't want to see. And they go back into like this stained glass, peaceful anxiety. They say ignorance is bliss. And some people choose bliss. If you watch The Matrix, some people there's ciphers, and then there's Morpheuses. And you got to choose red pill, blue pill. There's ciphers who said, man, I tasted the food out here in the Matrix, and it's bullshit. Give me the steak, the fake steak, because even if it's going to harm me, even if it's not real, I just want to live in this bubble because it's safer for me. And I'm trying to penetrate that bubble, bro, because it's the only way to move forward.
But to penetrate the bubble, again, this is what we have to continue to do. We have to educate the ignorant. So again, just want to also, before we get to the solutions, these are one of the things that they're implementing, just so you guys know. There will be a work requirements, okay? Now, again, it's already kind of typically in place, because we already said 27 million people are already enrolled because they are working, okay? Yeah. But this is what they're implementing. To keep Medicaid coverage, working age adults between 19 and 64 in Medicaid and expansion states must now prove that they're going or doing at least 80 hours per month of qualifying activities. That means employment or job training or volunteering, education or caregiving. Okay, 80 hours per month, and that's employment, job training, volunteering, education or caregiving. Now, on the surface, it's reasonable, but this is where it gets complicated. I want everybody to understand. You have to document and report compliance every month with paperwork to the state. You have to. If you miss the deadline or a form, terminate it. Not paused. Terminate it. Meaning you will have to reapply again from scratch, which will cause delays in the processing because you're starting all over again. There are exemptions. Okay, if you have a disability, if you are pregnant, if you're caring for a child under 14, but that must be applied for and approved with more paperwork. Okay, so again, there are things right now being done in other states. You have some states fighting. You have some states in court. Right now, we have some things that are available to us, as we spoke about. They're planning to implement these things January of 2027. We have a timeline right now for the midterms. Everybody, please just type in midterm election with your state, city, and state into Google.
Yes.
Find out where that is at. Find out who is running. Find out who supports you. Midterm elections is November 4th. November 4th. It's not president. This is not president. This is midterm election, meaning who controls your House and your state Senate seats, your House and Senate seats of your state. Okay. Now that matters because if we are able to get a nonpartisan, or I'm sorry, a bipartisan House and Senate, we will then be able to oppose that pen we're talking about.
Yeah, well, at least put some guardrails and checks and balances,
Exactly.
leaving things to, we might even be like, hey, listen, we're leaving it to the state, let the states decide on how much money gets determined. And obviously the cut is a cut, the cut is a cut. So, but, genuinely, like you said, you're going to have to be aware of who's in favor of this and who's against this come midterms. That's your most immediate way to prevent a extreme cut and rallying. I'm talking about getting everybody in your area to understand the gravity of this nature. Now, if you're in Nebraska, they're already enforcing work requirements. So this is going on right now as we speak. So you got to understand the exemption categories, like you said, pregnant, disabled, caregivers, children under 14, students. For everyone else, you gotta fight. You gotta fight back. There's a lot of legal fights going on right now. Out there in Massachusetts, the federal judge has issued a temporary restraining order blocking the Planned Parenthood Medicaid funding cut. That was in July 2025. That was last year. Multiple states have joined this filed suit challenging various provisions of the OBBBA, the One Beautiful Bill Act healthcare sections. Physicians withholding Medicaid funding from certain family planning providers is listed as currently being litigated by the Urban Institute. And Georgia Pathway Programs is existing work requirement model. And Georgia's Pathway Program is the existing work requirement model. It results in 75% fewer enrollees than projected, 86 million spent for 6,500 participants, and the results of that are being used in litigation for arguments. So Georgia's Pathway Program.
I think for a big part of what we're saying, like when you say Nebraska is enforcing these work requirements now, that's the point. You have to check with your state's Medicaid implementation plan because some of these states are moving faster than January 27th, right? So your politicians already so job. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be again diligent and you have to document everything right now. Employment records, caregiving arrangements, disability status. You have to be your own. There is no hand holding, unfortunately, unless you have a good social worker. Honestly, like if you live in a great municipality, but this is another thing that we're talking about. If you're cutting funding, that means how are you going to be able to pay good social workers? How are they going to be able to keep this case or work the caseload that they have? The increasing caseload of people who's going to be coming in and need some assistance, right? And again, more oftentimes than not, these social services are first come, first serve. So now you got these people who are going to be the front-facing responsibility of telling them they can't get assistance because somebody signed some shit last year that they ain't know they signed last year because, oh yeah, we weren't paying attention to what this nigga was signing to last year. So
exactly. The work requirements, they don't kick until January 27th federally for nationally, I should say. So the midterms are in November. That's a 2-month gap. So whether it's a good policy or probably a bad policy, the timing when people start losing the coverage was a choice. So they're choosing this day intentionally, and that's what I want to bring to your attention is that this is all an intentional play. And I think that people need to. And I think a lot of the people that we talk to, they know that, but there's a lot of people that genuinely will argue the point of like, and I ask y'all, do y'all think that, there is no use for Medicaid, Medicare, and SNAP benefits? And do you think that if they do go away and get cut, should the money go to people who are the highest earners, people who's, like Chris said earlier, are the names on the hospitals that are cutting the Medicaid and Medicare? Like really think about that, So, it's hard to, logically argue in favor of this, and I think that we all can sit here and realize what's happening at face value. It's intentional that they're trying to move money that was already moved from the middle class and the poor, but even more money from the middle class and poor to the rich. At least Biden, I know you said Biden didn't do much, but at least Biden did an infrastructure bill, and that increased manufacturing.
That is true.
Obama, did an Affordable Care Act, and he, helped the Medicaid and Medicare expand.
That is true.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm keeping it real with you. I'm not waiting for Trump to do anything for us because I don't think he's going to. I don't think that he has that in mind, and I hope people will wake up to realize that he's not a guy he's just not a good person, guys. He's not a good person. He's not smart. He's not qualified, and he's not looking out for the best interest of the American people. So when we say that Trump does not fuck with you, we're talking about all of you guys, the people who are listening to this podcast, the people who are complaining about the gas prices, the people who are at the Trump rallies, the people like, nigga, Trump don't care about even people who make money unless you're a certain type of, if you get a certain type of money, like so that's why it pains me sometimes when I see Saquon Barkley wants to play golf with this guy and shit. Like, guys, he's not normal. He's not normal, guys. You're standing by the destruction of this country. Peter Thiel, who worked with Trump, who got him in office, is low-key saying this nigga's the Antichrist. Go look it up. So I don't know, for some reason he has a fascination with the Antichrist, and he's like, yeah. And he got the fuck out of here because he doesn't want to see what's coming next. Yeah.
Why would he? Why would he? Yeah. Why would he want to sit and watch? The demise of what he created. Nobody wants to sit back and watch the crumbling. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to sit back and watch the crumbling of that.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah. I do want to speak on tough. I do want to make it was a palate cleanser, but can't even be a palate cleanser, nigga. Because I was gonna say, who care about their people, but it can't be even Stan Kroenke, nigga. He donated to Trump. Shit. But Stan Kroenke, he gonna donate the trunk on the back. He gonna pay for Miles Garrett in the front, my nigga. He gonna make sure his people know, nigga. He got that good news.
Oh my Lord. Stan Kroenke, man, he is this, but this is the thing. Like, this stuff is all a game to them, bro. Like, there's lives at stake, bro. This shit is all a game, bro. It's crazy, man.
So just to give Kroenke credit, he you're right.
Go ahead.
In 2016, he donated $100,000 to the Hillary Victory Fund.
Oh God. No.
But he subsequently donated $1 million to Donald Trump.
This nigga is playing Prize Picks with he's doing parlays on presidential candidates, man. This is what this guy's running, bro. Come on, bro. This is DraftKings.
Bro, he donated to both niggas and said, hey, I'm playing both sides.
You got money like that?
Oh, bro.
When you got money like that, you can do it. You can do it.
But again, to Kroenke's point, I mean, to Kroenke's thing, and again, remember we talked about it in 2016. He relocated, so this was the beginning of Kroenke relocating from St. Louis to Los Angeles, and it's not really just the states, right, that he has to placate to. You know, when he has to pay, he also has to make sure that whoever's in office is going to take care of them taxes for a big dog. You know what I'm saying? So he had to show face to, both. But yeah, the disparity in price was
Tell you everything.
wicked. It was wicked.
That's shit.
But
Shit
he
is
bought a
crazy.
lot of he bought a lot of I haven't seen nothing that he done. That's what's public in 2016. I don't see if he donated and I don't know who he donated to after that. But I can tell you that boy Kroenke got some good PR. Him and his GM Les Snead, my nigga. You feel me? Now they fucked up the draft this year by using a first round pick that they had in years to draft the backup quarterback to the MVP of the league, which it was weird. It was weird.
Ty Simpson, man, actually, I don't know if I'm a fan at this point because we all saw Jackson Dart show up at a random. But here's the thing: as far as this game, Ty Simpson, I'm not too much. I think it was a wise choice to get him. What was the other option? If you wanted him on your team, trade up into the first round? Like, what do you think?
The Rams, but this is what I'm saying. This is okay. So this is the thing.
They clearly don't give a fuck about picks. Like they've never.
No, it's not even about picks. Why make a succession plan?
Because Matt Stafford is getting old. Now he's getting up there.
You can't say I'm getting.
It's the same. It's a Jordan Love thing. I think they did the same thing. I think wasn't Aaron Rodgers like MVP the same year they got Jordan Love?
Yeah, and they've ruined and guess what? And this is my thing. It ruined the relationship with the Packers because they did not do what the Rams did. They just say, "Hey, man, we're gonna go all out for you this season, or next season. However long you got remaining on your contract, we're gonna go out." Now, on Aaron Rodgers' point, y'all ain't never drafted a wide receiver first round, but you draft my successor.
Matt Stafford is not Aaron Rodgers. Let's be real. In terms of personality, he's not. He understands. I think he gets he want a wide receiver, but you already got Puka. He got Devontae. Let's be real. You don't need a receiver.
You don't draft Ty, cuz.
Who do you draft?
Yeah. Shit, you want to look at the draft board? Let's go. Hold on. Let's look at the draft because they drafted. Bro, they drafted 13. You can get it in. Oh my soul, nigga. They get Ruben Day and then trade for Myles Garrett after, nigga. Like, what we talking about?
But just Ty right there. I mean, here's the thing. I think they should trade back. I'll be honest with you. I'll compromise and could trade back and get Ty. Like that's what I'll say. But I was a fan of Ty's game. Ty was nice, yo. I'm sorry. He was nice in college.
I'm looking. Okay, so look. I won't say nice in college. Okay, let me be. Okay, so the Rams drafted at. Damn. Where they drafted?
2026 draft. Look it up.
Oh, yeah, 2026. Yeah, damn, my bad. I drafted 2026. That's me. I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong draft. Okay, 2026. Yes.
Round one.
They drafted 13. 13. Yeah.
All right, who came after?
They drafted 13. Who came after?
Okay,
that?
Vega Iowani. They could have got him.
Vega Iowani. They could have got him. Ruben Bain. Kenyon Sadiq.
Shout out to the Jets.
Shout out to the Jets. Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver.
Mekhi Lemon for sure. Yeah.
They could have got.
But they already got Puka and Devontae.
Oh, but Puka got. I mean, Puka. You want to talk about old, bro? Devontae is an aging wide receiver, and Puka. Hey, that man on that stuff again. You know what I'm saying? Like Puka got his own problems.
Puka's a wild boy.
So they do have to shore up that wide receiver room.
But Puka's still young, and I think that Devontae at his age being because let's be real, Puka's number one. even though he's
Yeah.
not. He's a slot slash. You know, but today's day and age, you could be a slot in number one. Like look at
Oh,
like
he's a
Amon Ra.
F. He's a F. Yeah, he's a F. He's an
Yeah,
F. He's no longer a true.
yeah.
He's not a true X, but he's
Yeah, he's
an
not
F.
true exactly. So yeah, that could be number one. Amon Ra, St. Brown, boom. Like but then having Devontae, who's a veteran, as your number two, whatever, 1A, whatever, but 1B, he's still got legs. I'm not saying that you can get a wide receiver next year. That's what I'm trying to say. And if you really want to get, because what are you going to pick a quarterback pick this high again? And if you really want to put insurance, is that we don't know if Matthew Stafford's going to come back next year. We don't know if we're going to trade him. We don't know. Matthew Stafford, for all we know, could be on the Jets next year. You fucking never. Things change.
But this is my point though. Like you got to think about the offseason moves that they already that they have made, right? So not even talking about this Myles Garrett trade where they traded Jared Verse in the first. We talking about the first thing they did was they traded their first round pick. Because they had two. That's the thing. They had 2 first round picks this year. They did,
right?
The 13th pick that they got was the Atlanta pick. They traded their own pick, which is the 2029 pick. They traded it to Kansas City, and they got Trent McDuffie, right? They got a top 5 corner in the league to shore up the defense. So they traded a first round pick for Trent McDuffie. They ended up re-signing and extending Cam Curl. They signed Jalen Watson, another cornerback. So they shored up their defense, right? They traded for a cornerback, they signed back their cornerback, and then they signed back their safety. Now, when we talk about what else they did, they signed Tyler Higbee, the tight end. You want to talk about what you could have got? Hey, I know he might not be. King and Sadiq's right there, right? If I know I'm just making a case. If I'm Matthew Stafford and they waste the 13th pick on King and Sadiq, a freak athlete, a tight end, a weapon for me, I'm not at that press conference looking how I'm looking when I got to introduce him like, yeah, I'm prepared for me to start, nigga. Ty can come along with the rest of the quarterbacks in the quarterback room, nigga, but I'm getting this team together. So, like, you already, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, man, Tyler Higbee, you think Tyler Higbee's supposed to be your number one at tight end?
Let me check what's his stats last year. Let me check. I was just checking that out. So last year, he was injured, I think. So yeah, maybe not. Tyler Higbee, maybe they could have got tight end, and I'll give you that. But I think that I watched Ty Simpson, and I tell you, he looked like the best quarterback in football. Only thing is that he wasn't tall, and he wasn't like have all the right measurables. To me, yeah, I get it. Fernando Mendoza, championship, all that stuff.
You niggas got me going. Y'all niggas going crazy over. I'm Roll Tide, nigga. I'm Alabama. I'm telling you right now, I ain't seen nothing
You see
other than AJ McCarron.
Oh, wow.
Bro, I done seen it. Bro, I done seen AJ McCarron look like this nigga, bro. And AJ McCarron took us the whole season. And AJ McCarron took us the whole season and got us into a natty.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about a nigga that played 8 games and then tailed off. He wasn't hurt the last half of the year. He was just bad.
You think so?
He was.
I thought he was hurt still. No. I thought he was still hurt. Okay, hey, no, go ahead.
All I'm saying is this.
And Ryan Williams wasn't doing what he usually does. He fell off.
I get you. But what I'm saying is now let's extrapolate this. Let's use the Packers thing. Jordan Love. I still have to construct a team around this guy. Now I know I still got Puka, but they gave, nigga, we looking at Christian Watson. We looking at Romeo Dobbs. Like, we're looking at Josh Jacobs, right? We're looking at, nigga, you still have to elevate these people. When Ty get into this system, Puka might be 1 or 2 years older. Devontae not going to be on that team. Kyron Williams not going to be on that team. That offensive line is probably going to have to be reshuffled and rebuilt.
And by that time, guess what they're going to do? They're going to trade a first round pick for Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's what they do. Like by that time, they will trade picks for whatever he needs. That's exactly
but they won't have it. This is what I'm trying to say. They in 2 years
they just trade for Miles Garrett.
Yeah, that's that. Oh shit! Hold on. Let me see.
They're willing to give them whatever they want for whoever's the best wide receiver, whoever's the best wide receiver, who's the best edge, whatever the fuck they need. They just traded their first pick for the corner. Like they are constantly trading first round picks for players.
Hey man, fuck those picks. Let me see what picks they. So they traded their first round next year. So yeah, they got a first round of 2028. Yeah.
127, do they have one?
No, they traded that one. That's the one they traded for Miles Garrett.
Okay.
That's the one they traded for Miles Garrett. So they traded their 2027 first round pick. So let me look at their draft history. They haven't had a first round pick. God damn. Nigga.
Yeah.
Bro.
You see what they are. You see what type of timing they are.
First round pick, Jared Goff, 2016. Hold on, let me just read this off.
Okay.
Jared Goff, first round pick, 2016. No first round pick in 2017. No first round pick in 2018. No first round pick in 2019. No first round pick in 2020. No first round
Jared
pick in
Verse.
2020.
And they traded him.
Jared Verse was their pick when? And
2022?
Shit, was that even they pick or did they trade for him? Yeah, that was, let me see, 2022, Jared Verse. Ah. 2024, brother. And they haven't had a first round picks from 2016. I'm looking right now on Sports Track. I'll share my screen, nigga. They ain't had a first round pick since the first Trump administration in 2016. Nigga, and then hold on, let me share. My bad. I did say let me share my screen. Hold on. I triggered that. My bad. Nigga, I'm on Sports Track, Spot Track. 2016 right here, right? First round pick, Jared Goff. They had Todd Gurley, 2015 first round pick. What I'm telling you, boy, is look at the year and look for number one and see how far I gotta scroll, nigga, before we get to a first round pick. No first round pick in 2018. No first round pick in 2019. Again, no first round pick in 2020. You got Cam Akers, good pick. No first round pick in 2021. No first round pick in 2022. No first round pick in 2023. None. Your first round pick that you have is Jared Verse, and you trade him. And you trade him and your subsidiary first round pick for the following year to pick Ty Simpson as the oh hell, bro. Oh no, I can't hear you. What you saying? I can't hear you, brother.
Shoot.
Yeah, I can hear you. What you saying?
Yeah, so in 2025 they didn't have a first round pick. I'm like, yo, so you see what their plan is. And what did I tell you about the draft? It's overhyped. They see that what it is, it's overhyped. Unless it's somebody they're absolutely convinced on, they're not gonna go ahead and even use the pick. And they know what they're trying to build. They're not absolutely convinced that this is a generational talent or somebody that they want.
But you don't know who's a generational talent if you don't even have a pick.
But
Nigga, let's go through all the previous years of first round picks that they've done fucking missed out on.
But that's why they're not picking on them. They're not even using that. Their philosophy is, I'll pick in the second round and get somebody I like. And I'll use that first round pick to get a proven good player. That's not a bad strategy, bro. I don't
just traded and you used an additional first round pick for Ty Simpson when you had a first round pick for next year already, where there's a quarterback, like there's quarterback galore next year. Ty Simpson isn't better now than anybody that's coming out next year. And I don't know what I have to put on that, but I'll put something on it that Ty Simpson won't be better than Julian Sand.
I don't know what I got to put on it. Okay, listen. I'll take that bet. Listen, I can't, because if you're saying, okay, not better than anybody next year, I'll take that bet. I'm not saying that he's better than Julian Sand, but I'll say this. Ty Simpson is going to prove a lot of people wrong. I believe that. I truly believe he's going to prove people wrong, especially because he gets to sit behind Matt Stafford for 2 years or whatever. I genuinely believe that. This, to me, is a long-term play. And when we see their history with first-round picks,
They have a long-term play and looked into Matthew Stafford, who wanted to go to the Giants.
They did not luck into Matthew Stafford. That
yes,
was a play.
Matthew Stafford was during free agent before he just re-signed last year. He was contemplating retirement or the Giants.
So think about that. He was contemplating retirement, right, on the Giants, and you want to sit here and say and condemn them from taking a quarterback this year? After doing their research, after doing what they did, they have a whole staff. They went through it, and he's the guy that they said, you know what, let's take a swing at pick 13, 12, whatever, 13. You know, so like I think they should have traded back and still got him, but other than like that, I don't see a problem with it. I'm a Ty Simpson guy, bro. You know, I could be wrong, but I get the play, you know, and when I put into context Matthew Stafford's history and flirting with retirement, and put into context how they use first-round picks and how they value them, I'm not surprised by this one. I don't know.
Hold on. I have Conspiracy Corner. Hold on. So there has been reports, Wendy fingers, the Los Angeles Rams front office and executives are very familiar with Ty Simpson because they're very familiar with Jason Simpson, his father. Jason Simpson has a direct connection with the football world because as the long-term head coach at UT Martin. Ty's father, Jason, knows some people in the Rams front office, and that was a little backdoor kind of situation.
I don't care how good, I don't care how much he knew them. If that kid is trash, they ain't picking him. They saw something there.
That's not true. Bronny James ain't the nicest player in the world, cuz.
Bronny James is specific. Like, that's a specific situation where his dad is LeBron James. That ain't LeBron James.
But what I'm saying is that influence can influence.
I'm telling you, getting a job on a basketball team, hey, as LeBron's son, it is not the same as whatever that guy's name is. Getting his son a job as a quarterback on the Rams. I'm sorry. If he was ass, and mind you, not just me saying it, there's other people saying it. If he was ass, he wouldn't have been picked, you know. And he wasn't. There were times during the year he looked like the best quarterback in football, and he has a command of the offense. Like, that's what I like about him the most. Like, he was making certain pro reads, pro plays, that it wasn't just about the stats with him, it's how he was processing the game. how quick he was doing it. But I get it. Like, you know,
you know how we listen to how you sound when we talk about Ty Simpson. Look at how we talk about Ty Simpson, how he processes the field, how he looks, and how other guys that are sons of coaches or so, like
no,
Jalen Hurts don't get talked like this. Shador don't get talked like this, and they have the making of all of what we're talking about.
No,
a coach that no.
I will tell you that Jalen Hurts maybe deserved less criticism. I'll give you that. Shador, I'm not going to give you that. Shador deserves criticism. I don't think he should have been a 5th round pick. I'll be honest with you. That's crazy.
But the things that you say Ty did in college football, Shador led the nation in accuracy. Man, I don't care how many bubble screens y'all motherfucker. I was up late night watching the motherfucking bombs he was throwing, nigga, to Amari Cooper and to Travis Hunter and to Horn Jr.
Against what competition?
Pac-12, nigga. He was a Pac-12 competition.
But my thing with Shador is holding on to the ball, and I didn't see Ty doing that. I'm very specific on my criticisms. You know, like holding on to the ball, trying to make something happen, and I get why. You know, and I get the problem with the offensive line and all that stuff. But I can't get that out of my mind when I see him. You know, I do see that, and we saw it appear last year in real life. You know, that's why Deshaun Watson he's probably gonna be the starter. I'm sorry, Deshaun Watson gonna be the starter in Cleveland. It's unfortunate, but you know, Shador's gonna have to sit and wait again. You know, so it's
not unfortunate. Now we don't have to. There's no win. There's no star Myles Garrett now that we have to start. Deshaun and not waste the good years for whatever. We don't have to win now. We got Spencer Fanu, right? We reconstruct that wide receiver room. We completely revamped the offensive line.
They did a great job in Cleveland, man. They got
this ain't a project for fucking Deshaun. It
is for Deshaun. I promise you it is. They trust Deshaun more than they trust Shador. I tell you. Listen, it's only for the investment. Even if it's not even they trust him. It's only for the investment of what they did when they traded for this guy and gave him a guaranteed contract of a record-breaking whatever million, 60 million, whatever, 600 million, I forget, 100-something million dollars. This is going to be, hey, listen, we need a return on investment at some point, Deshaun. Please show and prove. You're healthy now. We're giving you the ball. Let's see what you got.
Deshaun only has 1 season remaining on that bad contract. It ends after this season.
Do you think that the owner is not going to want nothing from him?
It's no incentive. The money's first of all. This is what I'm trying to say. So if we're looking
just saying they've been paying him this contract that's guaranteed for years, and
that's what I'm
it was a bad
years, and it ends this year.
But it's not like they're getting him off the team. He's going into training camp competing. It's one thing if they say, yeah, we're going to cut him, or we got our quarterback Shador, or he's going to be a backup. No, he's competing for the starting job. You know, they're not like, acting like, he can't be re-upped.
There's no reason why to compete. Yeah, what do you mean re-up, bro? Re-up at what? Like, what are we talking about? Like, they're the only thing
if Deshaun gets them to the playoffs, I'm just saying, what do they do?
The fuck you mean, nigga?
We just talked about how this.
You think I'm giving you some more money, nigga? Get the fuck out my face, nigga. It's out the mud Rashad McKence, nigga. Fuck you mean? You think I'm giving you? You think I'm signing you another fuck? Bitch, if you don't get my face in Texas open market, yes, you had a good season. You took us to the playoffs. Now go see if somebody else gonna fucking pay you.
And then what they're gonna do? Get Lenoris?
Get who?
Lenoris after that?
I'm telling you,
because they're not going Shador.
Deshaun not making it. We doing this hypothetical. Deshaun not making it a whole season and getting Cleveland to the playoffs. We're not doing that. I don't think we're doing that.
All right.
What Casey Concepcion? Nigga?
Yeah, Denzel Boston too.
Bro, if you don't throw Shador out there, let them young niggas ball out, cuz with fucking fan and nigga, man, get out my.
You got Carson Schlesinger. You got Quinshon Judkins.
You about to put all these 1 and 2 year players with Deshaun Watson? Nigga, no.
I'm just gonna get your head wrapped around it. It's happening. but maybe
Yo.
we're gonna have to sit there and wait. Listen,
He starts first 2 games so Tom Munkin can say, I did the right thing, gave the veteran a chance. Now go sit your ass on this bitch and hold this clipboard, nigga. 12, nigga, you want to talk about business incentives? Nigga, we not finna get out here and talk about no businesses like Shador ain't moved a needle with $17.7 million off a motherfucking pub deal with my name on it, nigga. Are you kidding me? If this 12 don't get on the motherfucking field, I'm putting cases on all you motherfuckers, nigga. You gonna be playing football in Pelican Bay.
Oh man, with that being said, let's get up out of here, bro. It's been a good pod. Shout out to my guy Chris the Most High, joining Roll Ayatollah, man. He killed it today, man. And listen, man, we're gonna keep y'all abreast of what's going on in real time with all stuff going on with the Trump stuff, with the Medicare stuff, and the midterms going forward. So stay tapped in. In trade talks, AJ Brown is on the New England Patriots. We all know that's gonna happen.
That shit was about well-known,
Listen,
like
man.
what goes on in Scottsdale.
Exactly. And then we got Odell reuniting with the Giants, with the league neighbors, LSU, Unfortunately, we still got this Trump MAGA nigga leading the charge.
To Akeem Talib said on the gridiron and said, "Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter. As long as he get that pill where it need to go, nigga, it don't matter."
Yeah, he knows.
Nigga, A6, get that shit to 1, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's J6, January 6th. Yeah, get that shit.
J6, get that shit, J6. Yo, get that shit to 1. We'll get fuck what's called, nigga.
And yeah, Russell Wilson's gonna be drafted to what? He's retired. He's going to
I think he's at CBS.
Going to CBS,
I think they need some. I think him and Nate Burleson will be good. They add a little flavor on there. I hope he goes to CBS.
Him and Nate Burleson are like kind of same nigga too. They kind of. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying Nate is as to the degree of Russell, but they're both black guys who are very safe. And
you're right, because when Nate Burleson put that motherfucker braided ponytail back there, I'd be like, bitch.
Yeah, man. I just think they're really good for TV. Put it that way. I think they'll be really good for TV.
Nate Burleson is like Ryan Clark and Ryan Griffin together. Robert Griffin.
Oh, that's a good point.
He's a fuse of Ryan Clark and Robert Griffin.
Yeah, he is.
He's
clean cut.
Yeah.
But
But make the white people scared because he's the only nigga on the show.
Speaking of football, we got Madden games. I'm not sure if you made it, but you got, I know Malachi was talking some trash today, but Madden should be releasing their trailer tomorrow. So we'll see if they release the trailer tomorrow. I'm not sure we're going to talk about it here, but y'all stay tuned if you like football. College football too should be released tomorrow. Information about that, so that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, man, all is love. Everything is everything. Keep love first in your hearts and spirit, because Lord knows the world needs it, man. They're cutting our Medicaid, Medicare, our SNAP benefits, everything for the people. They're cutting everything now here, And the gas prices are through the roof. They're high, like as Ish would say, giraffe pussy. So as we continue to check in on these things, we shall keep y'all abreast. Love y'all, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, where we talk about everything that matters. Deuces. If you made it this far, you are a real one. Thank you. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more daily content from your boys from Everything Is.